Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United lost 3-0 to Newcastle at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup. Absolute embarrassment. Manchester United have lost back-to-back home games at Old Trafford 3-0. Because obviously last weekend Man United lost 3-0 to Man City at Old Trafford. It was Newcastle's first win at Old Trafford since December 2013. It was the first time Newcastle had won away at Man United by 3 or more goals since 1930. That's 90 odd years ago. And it was Man United's 8th defeat in 15 games this season. And reflecting on this, Eric Ten Hag is under serious pressure. After the game, Ten Hag did admit that the team's in a bad place. And he also mentioned that he got asked, can I make Man United play like Ajax? So he did that. But, Ten Hag needs to go, tactically naive, clueless. Not all of the blame stems from Ten Hag. Obviously the players have to take responsibility as well for these poor performances. But, fair play to Newcastle. They're a very good team now. You hear the Newcastle's fans chanting he's getting sacked in the morning. And, it was Newcastle's reserves that beat Manchester United 3-0. It wasn't even Newcastle's first team. You had Paul Dummett playing at the back, who was obviously not first choice. Emil Kraft, he made his first start in 15 months. He had a really good game for Newcastle. He actually was out with a knee injury for a while. You got that Miguel Almiron that played very well. He gave Newcastle the lead. He was the one that actually came on and replaced Matt Targett, was it? Because he went off injured. Lewis Hall, scored Newcastle's second goal. And the third goal came from Willock. And that was a very good strike from the edge of the box. And, it could have been more than 3-0. And Newcastle were missing players. There was no Alexander Isak. He's out at the moment. There was no Jacob Murphy. He's injured. There was no Elliot Anderson. There was no Harvey Barnes. He's injured. Of course, Newcastle got him from Leicester. So they were missing quite a few key players. You've got to say Man United are missing players as well. Obviously, Shaw's injured at the moment. Varane's injured. Martinez is missing. But that's still no excuse. But, Newcastle, I really think they will finish in the top 4 this season. They did well last season, to be fair. Got to the Carabao Cup final. Man United did beat them in the Carabao Cup final 2-0. So, obviously, yesterday Newcastle did get their revenge. And, I've got to give a lot of credit to Eddie Howe. He's really transformed Newcastle into an elite team. And what plays a part in Newcastle being so good now is obviously when the owners took over, the Saudi Arabians purchased the club from Mike Ashley. Obviously, Newcastle had a lot of problems when Mike Ashley was the owner. They were demanding him out for so long with the Newcastle fans. Ashley owned Newcastle for around, 13 years. But yeah, definitely Eddie Howe's the right man for Newcastle. Obviously, Before then, they had Steve Bruce, wasn't good enough. At one point, they had Rafa Benitez. They was actually quite consistent under Benitez with Newcastle, but obviously Benitez ended up resigning in the end because he wasn't getting backed by the Newcastle board. But from Man United perspective, this is just unacceptable. And Ten Hag has got to go. My perceptions have definitely changed on him. Revert back to last season, myself and a lot of United fans were saying, Ten Hag, it's looking like he's the right manager. Last season was his first full season. He did really well last season, won us the Carabao Cup. That was his first trophy since 2017. He got us a top 4 finish last season and he got us to an FA Cup final. But this season, it's just gone all downhill. And the players are just not playing for this manager. If the club decide to sack Ten Hag, who's going to come in to replace him? That's the question. Is anyone out there available who's going to, transform Manchester United into a dominant force and, get us out of this predicament? Man United have been in transition for far too long, must have been in transition for the last 10.5 years now, since Ferguson retired. Man United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. That was Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And not only that, billions of pounds have been spent on players. And you can say it's just billions of pounds that have been wasted. Like I said, always spending big doesn't guarantee you success. And Ten Hag, since he became the United manager, he has brought a lot of players in. He spent over £200 million as Man United manager. Brought the likes of Mason Mount in, has proved nothing at the moment. He's had quite a few injuries. Of course, Casemiro got brought in as well. He's had his good games, but he went off injured yesterday. He had to get replaced. I don't know how severe Casemiro's injury is. Brought a few players in on loan. Sofran Amrabat brought him in on loan. Sergio Reguilon brought him in on loan. Brought Andre Onana in as a replacement for De Gea. And he's been terrible since he came to the club. Look at these players, Erik Ten Hag has brought in. He's got rid of a lot of players as well. There is still Deadwood in the squad. Ten Hag has been the United manager for a good 15-16 months now. He's under contract with the club till 2025. I can definitely assure you won't be seeing out his contract. But revert back to what I said on my videos a while back. The Glazers are a massive problem at the club as well. They're nothing to do with what's going on the pitch, but off the pitch they are a massive problem. And a lot of United fans have been protesting the Glazers out now for so long. The Glazers have owned the club for around 16, 17 years. They purchased the club for around, 500 million back in 2005. Obviously there had been a lot of rumours about Sir Jim Ratcliffe buying the club. At one point the Saudi Arabians were interested. But, I think the way of fixing this is get a manager in that suits the trappings of the club. Get a manager in who's going to build a team that's going to play as a team, not a team of individuals, because obviously at this moment we are a team of individuals. You've got every fucker thinking they're better than everybody else on that pitch. We've got to get new owners in as well. There's massive, massive problems at Manchester United, and I've never known Man United be this bad. I'm 27 years old. We've had a lot of bad periods, but nowhere near to the extent as this. You know, we must have lost about 5 games, or is it 6 games at Old Trafford in all competitions so far this season. Revert back to the Ferguson days. You know, Old Trafford was a fortress. Hardly anyone could win there. You know, this is just embarrassing. You know, if you could see fight, passion, desire, then it wouldn't be as bad. But there's just nothing on that pitch that's satisfying any Manchester United supporter. You know, you've got players who are on stupid amounts of money as well at the club. To me, if they're not performing and they're not instructing what they've been told to do, then to me, stop the wages. Simple as that. So anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of the game. Drop your comments, like us below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. And before I go, I do apologise for the lack of videos. I don't get as much time anymore as I used to, because obviously I work full-time now. But I'll do the odd video here and there when I do get time. So take care, like I said, and God bless.